I'm ready.
Dominic,
Mhm.
are you aware that your team is trash, though? Like, do you know that?
Why? Well, how you figure? Because you won the league by 18 points this season.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that. I mean, you guys fell 25 points at the peak.
Mhm.
You were losing games back to back at one point.
don't re-
You feel the
don't
need to
remind me.
immediately splash the cash as soon as the window opens. Like what?
Look, look. That's the look. I know we might not have the same business model as Liverpool, but City, since the takeover, is known to go out, get who they want. The world knows this. The world knows this. So when you Liverpool fans try to throw this in our face about, you know, we spend and we, you know what I mean? We basically just buying success or whatever. I don't know if that's what you're getting at. But that's just our business model is not like yours. You see what I mean?
No, I agree. It's not at all
Because
like ours.
because
It's a bad
if,
one.
if your business principles are okay, I only could bring in a player if I sell a player. That's why you took so long to win a Premier League, because you didn't go out and get the players you actually wanted. Maybe you got one or two players you wanted, but City, Pep. Listen, the team that Pep inherited, how many players survived that team? Not many. Not many.
Previous team did the same thing, though.
But that's the thing. That's the business model. And hence the reason why 4 Premier League titles in the last decade. And Liverpool, not until they did a similar thing. Don't tell me Liverpool didn't do a similar thing. Not until they did a similar thing, they were successful. Klopp came in and he revamped the team. It didn't matter if it took him 5 years or let's say 4 years, from 2015 up until 2018-19, close to 4 years. He spent basically used pretty much almost the same business model City used to better Liverpool.
Pep has spent 1.2 billion. Billion.
Since when?
I think
Since
Klopp
he came
is
in.
hovering right around 100. Less than that, maybe. Definitely less than that.
But wait, when you say 1 point something billion, what are you talking about? Dollars, right?
Or pounds, whatever you want to use. Because I know you like to use pounds, or you think in euros.
I have to use pounds because we're talking about the Premier League, which is in
Right.
England.
That's right.
But.
So let me just ask you this. In the last 5 years, give me a player that you have sold for a profit.
For a profit. We have sold a lot of players, but I can't say that we turned a profit on these players.
Okay, how about the last 10 years?
I can't think of players that, like, City
and
does not have that.
That is my point.
I
Oil
know.
FC, bro. You can just go in, pick your, choice of the litter, and it doesn't matter if you're turning or flipping players. All that matters is you have oil money behind it so you can do whatever you want. The business side doesn't even matter.
Listen, if you have cash, X amount of cash to burn, why would you worry about being frugal? Tell me. And I know there have been questions over, financial fair play and all of that.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there's documents to back up the money that come in to buy these players. Do you know?
Have you seen these documents?
I just read something that Etihad, to deal with the whole 2-year ban, that Etihad actually sponsored. The sponsorship money for Etihad is like 200 and something million pounds. And I was like, wow, no wonder City could go and splash the cash like that. You see what I mean? And you have to factor in jersey sales. You have to factor in state tickets. You have to factor in participation in the Champions League.
Factor in tickets. You can't even fill the stadium, my man.
You know why we can't fill the stadiums? I know you guys.
Please tell me.
I know you guys like to say these things to piss us off. Oil FC, we're buying success. We can't fill the stadium. We're leaving room. We're leaving room for improvement, for new fans to come in. We are not as big as Liverpool.
Did you just say that's why your stadium seats are
empty? Of course.
Because you're leaving room for people to come?
Of course. You leave room for more people.
You realize it takes money to add on the addition or to build the stadium in general, okay? You need match day tickets to recoup that cost, okay? And if you're not filling the stadium, you're not doing yourself any favors.
City obviously do not need to fill their stadium to continue to operate. Obviously. It's obvious.
Why have the seats?
It's obvious. You see what I mean? So
Liverpool
you tell me,
struggling to get enough people in, or not enough. They need more seats.
Maybe Liverpool should maybe Liverpool should take a leaf out of City's book, expand their stadium so that they could, accommodate more fans like they should.
We have been. We have been.
What's your stadium capacity? About
right now it's 54,000. We were at 43 or 40. No, that's 44.5 or something before the new main stand development.
Yeah.
We have plans to expand the Anfield Road end, which has been delayed about a year or two because of the pandemic. Not only that, we developed a $50 million training ground. Okay? Yes. That shows even more about Liverpool. They care more about developing our academy than they do about spending money on big players, about developing. They don't have to ever worry about people wanting to come to the games. All right?
So wait, you telling me City already done that? They did that. They did that from the get-go. When they came in as a project, all of that was in place. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people like to say that.
Where's your training ground?
We buy players. To be completely honest, I don't really focus on the youth team too much. And the reason why I don't focus on the youth team too much.
You don't know where it is?
No. Look, I'm telling you, I'm being completely honest with you.
All right. Fair enough.
I am not focusing on the youth team. It's something I know a few other youth players, but the reason why I don't know more other youth players is because I don't focus on the youth team, and Pep do not promote youth players like
Man City doesn't promote youth players.
Yes, I know that. Hence the reason why I don't go into that kind of stuff. But it's something that I should definitely know. I should definitely know that. But I don't really, to be honest, I don't really, I'm not going to lie, I don't go into the youth players and stuff like that. But look, the Etihad Stadium,
just for the record, we did acknowledge Man City, 1, don't have a youth academy, really, and then 2, Dominic doesn't even pay attention to it. All right.
I really don't. Why should I pay attention to something that don't get utilized? Tell me.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Because look, first of all, to just elaborate on that, it is something that I don't agree with, because we have players like Matondo leaving the youth academy or the youth setup, going to Schalke, bright prospect, and the biggest one of all, Jadon Sancho, who, you know what I mean?
Don't forget Bobby Duncan. He came over to us.
Could have been at City right now. And there's a guy right now by the name of Jaden Braff. We could lose him.
And you're losing a lot at your youth academy. You're losing a lot of players. Because all your business model, like you said before, is to just buy. You have no desire to develop players whatsoever. None.
There's a few more.
Yeah, you got to give credit, and really the only credit, Phil Foden.
Yes, definitely.
That's it. Though.
Definitely. So that is something I can't really argue, because to be honest, I don't go into the youth academy stuff. I really should, but it's not something that basically like it interests me, all of that, because City don't really. How many youth players have came through the City team over the last couple of years? You tell me. I'm waiting.
There's literally none. It's Phil Foden, isn't it?
There's
That's
Phil
it.
Foden. There's Eric Garcia, and that's
Eric
it.
Garcia is a youth player. Y'all didn't buy him?
No,
Okay.
he came over from Barcelona and he was in the youth setup.
No, when did he come over?
He came over from Barcelona a few years ago. Not too long. A few years ago.
I'll take your word for it.
A few years ago.
How about players, though, that have actually come up through the academy, like academy graduates that have played in the first team?
There's not many.
If any. Is Phil Foden one?
Phil Foden is one. Foden is one. There's a few players that are coming through, like Taylor Howard-Bellis. There's a few guys like Adrian Bernabé. And there's a few others. There's Tommy Doyle. He has rich history with the club. And
I have heard that name.
Yeah, and there's a few other names that I know a few of these guys, but they have guys like Manu Garcia. He has left the club already. I think Angelino came through the academy, if I'm not mistaken.
Y'all bought him from PSV, I thought.
No, we had him first. Sent him to I think NYFC on loan, and then sold him to PSV,
and then bought him back,
and then sent him out on loan again. So you see,
what kind of business is that?
And there's a guy by the name of Claudio Gomez.
Yes,
there's a lot of players that we have. There's a lot of players that we have, but we don't actually use them. We just send them out on loan and maybe sell them on later.
You don't invest in your youth, and that's a big problem going forward.
A lot of times, too, to be honest, Carl, it has to do with the work permit issues, too, because a player...
Everyone has that problem, though.
You
can't... We had that problem with Chiravella, which is... It's probably why we sold him. We had that problem with Tawi Awoniyi, I think.
Awoniyi. He's in Germany right now.
We have one Brazilian player. I forget his name, but we loaned him out to Freiburg. He's literally been on loan since we've had him because of that. So everyone has those issues.
And that's been a problem because...
The biggest issue isn't that for you guys. The biggest issue is you guys don't want to invest in your young players and bring them up. You'd rather buy world-class players and bring them in. That's a fact.
Okay. If you don't buy the world-class players, how are you supposed to win?
Ask Liverpool. We've been doing it for years.
Win what for years? You haven't won a Premier League in 30 years.
Look, what other trophies have we won, bro?
You won the Champions League.
We have 6 Champions League trophies.
Yeah, but you were going through a trophy drought.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all.
Okay, before the Champions League, what did Liverpool win after that? The Miracle at Istanbul.
Miracle in Istanbul. We had the League Cup.
You went to the final
in 2007. No, 2007 we went.
Wait, just after you won the Champions League, you didn't go to the final the next year, or it was a year
I think it was 2007.
Okay.
I think it was 2007. We lost to AC Milan again.
And then after that, what did you win?
We won the League Cup in 2012. And
that's it.
And then we went to the Europa League final.
Those don't count.
I'm just saying.
Nobody remembers second. People always remember first.
All right. No one remembers any of your Champions League trophies because you don't have any.
We don't. I know that.
So but the 6 of ours, I don't care how long we go without the drought.
Aren't we still in the Champions League?
You are. That's great. Good job. Good job.
So I bet you want us to get knocked out this Friday.
Oh, yes. Nothing would make me happier.
For real? For real?
Who are y'all playing?
We play Real Madrid. And we are 2-1 up with 2 away goals.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I want you guys to win. I don't like Madrid or City.
So why you don't want us to win, though? We are Premier League club.
That's fine. That's awesome. I don't want any of the top 6 to win anything. You know what I mean? That's just me being a Liverpool fan. That brings me to my next point. What's your excuse in Europe? Do you guys have any Europa League cups?
No, we don't.
Dang, so nothing was in the.
I think City was in the Europa League a few times, like early on when the takeover just happened. But we've been in the Champions League every year. like every single year, you know what I mean?
With
Since,
nothing
like,
to show for it.
Nothing. Yo, look.
How about FA Cups and League Cups?
Well, we had a boss, you know what I'm saying? We had a Don Dadas when it comes to the FA Cup, the League Cup. You know that.
You beat us in the League
that.
Cup a few years back.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, we are the bosses when it comes to that. We have cups to show. My question for you is, why Liverpool can't focus on 4 competitions at a time in one season? Why they can't do it?
Who says that we're not?
We're doing it. We won a domestic treble. It's right there. 2018. FA Cup, League Cup, and the Premier League.
You realize we won the world treble. We're the first English club to ever hold that. I think
the world treble?
The world treble.
What is that?
I don't care about your domestic treble.
What is the world treble?
That's the FIFA Club World Cup, Champions League, and the Champions of England. And the what's the Super Cup? Sorry, the Super Cup. The Champions of England doesn't count.
So now,
have you ever held that?
But wait, you making up your own treble rules now, right?
That's a treble. That's what it is.
That ain't no look. This treble isn't even recognized by people, much less to that treble you're talking about. You guys ain't win no treble this season.
That's no fine. Trouble. We won the league. We won the Champions.
But what I'm saying,
4 trophies in the last year.
Okay, but how many trophies did we have over the last decade? Many.
That's great. How many?
Too many to count.
How many total?
Look, we do not have the trophy cabinet like Liverpool. But you're talking ancient history here.
You're not even the best team in Manchester.
So who's the best team in Manchester?
The only other team in Manchester.
And that's who?
Man United. And I hate to say it, but they're better than y'all. They're more historical than y'all.
You see again? You're talking history. You're talking history.
Which you don't have either.
Look, we have history. 1894. Formed 1894. Still alive and well.
That's awesome.
Still alive
Leicester
and well.
Was 1884. No one's really talking about Leicester.
Got relegated a few times. Came up. We know the struggle. We got lucky. Got taken over.
Never been relegated. I just want to.
Look, kudos to you, man. Sometimes you have to get put down to come back up. You gotta know the struggle. You gotta understand the struggle to persevere.
You guys don't understand the struggle ever since the takeover. You guys are so spoiled rotten.
No. I think, look, there's a lot of teams in Europe that are spoiled rotten. But the way teams look at us is like, you hated on me if, for example, we went to the same school, we did the same major, we got the same degree, and then I end up getting a better job than you, and then I could afford better things than you. I'm living a better life than you. It's just the way of things. City just lucked out. I think City just lucked. Look at the whole Newcastle situation right about now with Saudi Arabia pulling out.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that?
Well, how I feel about that is like Newcastle fans, they're hypocrites because I'm pretty sure they have talked a lot of smack about City in the past, and they have, denounced the whole takeover thing and being run by, the sheiks and all of that, the Emiratis and whatnot. Yeah. And then you want to get taken over by Saudi Arabia so bad. So, look, everything is meant to happen for a reason. It wasn't meant to be. I heard that another investor, I think it's an American investor, might be interested in that. And I don't think it's going to be the same because Americans are going to look to turn profits. They're going to look to turn profits, and they're going to look to turn profits immediately, or, they're going to pinch. They're going to penny pinch, like, the way Liverpool penny pinches. The way you guys are pinching right now.
Penny pinchers. We're not. It's a business. It's strictly a business model.
So you tell me, what City is doing, it is a business. It's a global business. That's why we have a City group.
Business model. Look, the plan, the business plan is so different.
I know that. But there's a lot of businesses that probably, most likely hates what Amazon is doing. hate what Walmart is doing.
Oh, of
Look at
course.
this. Exactly. But look at what City is doing. It's a similar business model. City Group, basically, Man City is the top team, and then their sister clubs.
Right.
Belgium, there's club in Australia.
You just got Girona
There's Girona. There's NYFC. So we are building something here. We are building what you call
a network. You're building a network.
Basically, we are buying up smaller teams to basically be feeder clubs for us to send our players out on loan. And it's a different business model, and it's a business model that the City Group can afford. You see what I mean?
I hear you. So there's always one thing, like you brought up, this is a good example, actually. You brought up Amazon and Walmart, right? One thing, maybe not with Amazon, but I know one thing with Walmart that lacks, two things actually, that lacks when you have a huge business that's not only you're able to charge less, but quality of products goes down and the quality of the benefits that you provide your employees goes down. There's always a give and take.
Not necessarily, though. Not necessarily.
Yeah. I encourage you to go do some research on how Walmart has treated
I know what you're trying to come at, but that's not the same. It's not the same.
No. I'm using it as an example. There's always a give and take. So, for example, Man City's money with this network, the quality, I don't know if quality of the club is the right phrase. I think what I'm going for is the passion, the loyalty. There's no it's about money. That's all.
I understand. So basically, when you say no loyalty, what are you trying to say? That all City fans are plastic fans? That's what you're trying to say?
I think plastic fans is a good one. All right. I also think that when you have clubs, when you have a business model where you're just loaning out players to develop, and you're not really trying to get them into the first team, you're just trying to loan them out, build their value, and then sell them on.
Here it is.
No, hold on.
What if?
What's the value in that? Like, that's all about money.
But it's a business. What a business is all about doing? Providing a service to turn profits.
When have you turned a profit from a first-team player that you've brought in?
It's not about,
you just said it's about profits.
But what I'm saying, I know I said it's about profits, but that's not the way every club makes their money.
I'm talking about your club, though.
I know that. I don't know how City, I didn't go and look at City's books and say, okay, they made such and such from player sales. But it's obvious that that's not the way City makes their money. Through player sales, to revenue from player sales. City probably make most of their money from advertising, from sponsorship deals with various companies. If you go on their website, you can see it's there. If you look at the kits, you could see Next and Tire, Etihad Airways, big sponsors there.
Interesting, this whole financial fair play thing came down to falsifying sponsorship revenue. Basically, you guys aren't bringing in as much money as you say you are.
They're saying it's not basically falsifying. It's like saying you got more than what you actually got.
Which is falsifying.
But what I'm saying, there's evidence. They have evidence. City has evidence to show that they get such and such money from Etihad every year or every season.
Is it 200 a year, or was it just one lump sum?
I think it was 200 and something million.
One lump sum or a year?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not a
finance. That is a lot.
That is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. But what I'm saying then, we're talking about the United Arab Emirates,
I know.
Look, have you ever been there?
I've never been to Dubai or anywhere.
Have you ever flew over or landed in Dubai or anything like that?
Nah.
Okay, I've landed there. I was at the Dubai airport and I flew over and I'm like, Jesus, look at a place.
I'm sure it's just screams money. I'm sure.
And that was in 2006.
Yeah.
We're talking about 14 years of development. The first time, I know this might not be relevant, but The first time when I went there, first of all, like the clock that they use in the airport was a big Rolex clock. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like that before. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like, that's just, look, the country is oil rich. The country is oil rich. These countries, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, are basically playing FIFA with the Premier League. That's what they're doing.
That's all they're doing. That's all they're doing.
Fenway Sports Group is also playing FIFA with the Premier League, but they're doing things a little different.
How are they playing FIFA with the Premier League?
They bought out Liverpool. Look, you guys have owners just like we have owners. It's just that our owners are Arabs, your owners are Americans.
That's not what your point was, though. You were when you were referring to playing FIFA career mode or whatever you were saying, you were referring to just because in FIFA career mode, if you do well one season, you get all sorts of money. Your transfer budget gets increased by whoever. That's what you were talking about.
Yeah, but another thing, when I say FIFA,
they were on the brink of bankruptcy when FSG.
But what I'm saying, that happens in FIFA career mode too. If you're not winning anything, you come in fourth or you come in fifth. The board does give you some money, but not as much as if you win the Champions League or if you, for example, like I'm talking about FIFA career mode here, or if you win the league or win the League Cup or whatnot. So in both aspects, it's FIFA career mode.
But it is. Your point isn't that we're like both of us have said this before. It's one, it's not the same business model, and two, our owners, obviously they're rich, but the difference in how much money we have is astronomical. Liverpool, all of John Henry and Fenway Sports Group, all their equity is tied up in the Red Sox, Boston Globe, and Liverpool. They don't have any liquidity. You guys have so much equity to just go out and spend, and that's my point.
What I'm saying, does that hurt you though?
It doesn't hurt me. I mean,
it seems like that hurts you
for themselves. The trophies speak for themselves.
What trophies? One Premier League.
Trophies?
Wait. One Premier.
The Wall of Champions.
Look, one Premier League.
That's
the Champions League last season. Yeah. After investing heavily into the team.
You realize that before all the money came into the Premier League,
I'm not saying
the most successful club in England.
I know that. When?
What do you mean when?
Prior to 1990.
I'm talking about everything.
But what I'm saying, though, I know you're talking about everything, but could we get up to speed here? Could we talk some modern stuff? Could we stop going into ancient times?
You don't want to go there because you don't have anything to brag about.
But why would I want to go there? I'm talking about now. City does have a title in the.
What do you have an FA Cup from like 1905 or something?
City does have a title to boast. They do have a title to boast. Yeah, some way back there. It's somewhere back there. They do have a title to boast.
I think I honestly
get the facts right. Let me get the facts right.
I think you won an FA Cup before we did. I think you did. But
let me get the facts
1905 or 1904.
We are 6-time Premier League winners. We won it in 36, 37, 67, 68.
That's great. Now you need to do that 3 times over again and catch up to us.
And then we have 4 in the last. But let's talk about the 4 in the last decade because look, City
why? Tell me why. Why do you have that?
Because City's relevance
is
only because of the takeover. Yeah,
exactly.
Look, but then, hear me out.
I'm listening.
How many people do you think have benefited from this takeover?
You mean at the club? Like, what do you mean?
In general, how many people have benefited from this takeover? You guys like to talk about oil money and oil money this. Let's talk about how many people the same exact oil money has helped improve their life, their livelihood. How much this has improved the city of Manchester. Think about that.
You're going to have to answer
but
that.
I'm saying, think about the money injected into the club. How much it has helped the city.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point.
That's a great point. That is a
great point.
Great point.
Not related to what we're talking about.
It is related because you guys like to say oil money, but we all use oil. We all contribute towards that oil fund that you guys are talking about. We all do.
You're trying to say we all use oil, which we do.
Yes, we do.
We all use it, but how does that relate to what we're talking about?
It relates because we are in the right business. We're in the right business of selling oil. We're in the business of selling oil. So we don't have to sell players to get the money because we have the right sponsors behind us. We have the right sponsors. We do the right deals, and we generate enough income that we could say, okay, we want a Rodri, 60 million plus, bring him in. You want a Cancelo, Danilo go the other way, bring in Cancelo, whatever money you want to talk, do that. I don't think, look, City have spent a lot of money over the years, when cumulatively has spent a lot of money, but
that's a fact.
We are still, I think that it was a project from the get-go. The project worked, and it's just replacing. It's like any successful team. You want to remain on top. And to remain on top, you have to bring in the best players.
So since 2008, what year did you guys get taken over?
Yeah, I think it was 2008.
1.2 billion. That's the number I was talking about.
Yes.
That is ridiculous.
But do you know?
1.2 billion.
Look, City is, I was looking at something. No doubt, City has spent a lot of money. But that is to make up for all the years we didn't spend any. You see what I'm saying? It's like if you run into some cash. You have, look, right about now, for me personally.
Now, I don't know about you. I don't spend cash. I invest cash. And that's what Liverpool do.
I do invest too.
Invest in the club to build assets. That's not what I'll do.
Look, I don't know.
Spend.
Look here. I don't know about what you know, but I invest as well. You know what I'm saying? And I know City invest as well. That's why. They do. That's why City have. How many right backs do we have right now? We just signed a right back.
God, you got at least 20 right and left backs.
We just signed a right back from KV Mechelen, Issa Kabori. Never heard of that player. We just signed him.
Yeah, me neither.
We signed a player named Clivert Aguilar from Peru.
I've heard him.
A player by the name of Pedro Porro. He's from Spain. He's at Girona right now. And we signed a Brazilian called Jan Couto. So that's 4 players. If we have these players and we send them out on loan and they develop nicely and we sell them on, let's say we buy them for cheap, and there's another player by the name of Pablo Moreno, very good Spaniard who was at Juventus, and he is said to be one of the next big things. Let's say those 5 players develop nicely, or 4 out of the 5, all of them not going to develop nicely, and we sell each of those players, let's just say for 10 mil each. We just turned a profit. We just made 40 mil, and we bought all of them combined for maybe 15 mil or maybe less.
That's great. But you're speculating. It hasn't happened yet.
No, but City has been doing that, though. City has been doing that because, look, when you guys like to say that we spend money, I recently dug up some information. I don't even need to go back and look at it. You guys like to talk net spend. Since Club came in, you guys have spent a lot of money.
We have net. I just looked it up. Since Klopp has come in,
what's the net spend?
Net spend is 92 million. You want to know what yours is?
Plus 92. What is
92? Do you want to know what yours is? 600. So I don't want to hear it. It's six times more.
Plus, right? Wait, minus 600.
Net spend, not gross. Net.
No, net spend is you talking about
your net
players
spend.
Brought in
I
minus
have the chart right here. Net spend, Liverpool, in the last 5 years,
look,
92.4 million.
What's your source?
Man City, 505.6. The source is transferleague.co.uk.
Look, I use a site by the name of Transfermarkt, right?
Yeah, I know. I use that too.
If you go to Transfermarkt and you check incoming and outgoing transfer fees, I don't know. Everything is not put in sometimes. Sometimes we don't get the full figure. Like it might be 80 mil plus add-ons. We might not, you know. But for Liverpool, if you go, Kyle, I kid you not.
I'm looking at it right now.
Look, you want us to bring it up on screen?
Look, right here. Go. You can share your screen all you want. Liverpool have. I'm just going to read you this. Mm-hmm. We have purchased. Mm-hmm. So this is what we have spent without taking in anything else. 470.9.
Yes.
But sold 378. That's the point I'm trying to make. You guys
so that means your net spend is still negative.
No, our net spend is 92.
But if
that's what I just said.
But what I'm saying though,
your net spend.
But hear me.
818 is what you've in 5 years, last 5 years, which is just ridiculous. 818.
Okay, we spent 18. We spent 800 and we sold how much? 300,000?
No. This is million.
Yeah, 300 million. 300 million. That's
so
how much.
Like I said, your net is 505 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much. Years.
That's how much we made in terms. That's how much we made in terms of players sold, right? 300 million, right?
You didn't make anything because you spent.
No, but what I'm saying though, hear me out. Just hear me out, right?
Yeah.
Hear me out. If I spent 800 million, right?
Right.
But I only made 300 from sales. It means that I didn't turn a profit. I'm 500 million in the hole.
Right.
From player revenue.
But there's a net spend.
But what I'm saying though, from player revenue. We're talking
about two different values though.
No, but hear me out, Kyle. Hear me out, please. Open your ears and hear me out. If I spend $10, let's use some smaller numbers. If I spend $10, but I only made $5, it means that I'm minus 5, right? In the hole.
That's your profit margin is 5.
Yes.
Negative 5.
Negative.
Not your net spend.
So how is net spend? What is net? First of all, what is this net spend thing?
Net spend is what you spent, and it refers to either one value. So in this scenario, it refers to player sales and player acquisitions.
Yeah.
Your net spend is 500 million.
Yeah, 500 million.
That means
that's how much we spent more than what we made. Okay, our net spend is 500 million, right?
Right.
So the higher your net spend is, it's the worse. That it looks bad on you.
It's basically another way to say what you just said.
Okay, basically. So our net spend is 500 million, right? Which and that 500 million we can show that we made from the players that we sell, and that's the problem, right? That's the whole problem.
You made 300 from the players you sold. Remember?
We made 300, but we spent 8. So that means that's 500,000 unaccounted for. Basically, that's what you guys are trying to say.
I just wanted to make sure because you said we made 500.
Not 500. Oh yeah. I might say some, like I said, 1,000. I meant million.
Yeah.
500 million unaccounted for. That's basically that net spend thing right there. You see that area? Net spend. You guys are saying, okay, this is bad. This is bad. You spent 800 million, but you only sold 300 million. That's bad, right? That's what you're saying, right?
I'm not saying it's bad.
No,
I'm saying it. No. You asked.
That's what you wait for, basically, a saying too.
Well, I mean, like you said, it depends, because if you're 500 million in the hole and you have would you say 200 million from Etihad, you just need 300 million more to financial.
So what about? Play. So no, but what about? I don't think that's the way it works, because when I read the documents, you are allowed to go over a certain amount. If you go over a certain threshold, then is when you breach financial fair play.
Right, and it's a percentage. That way, it's fair for each team.
When you go over a certain percentage, and I think it's like around, like, if you spend I can't remember the exact figure, but from what UEFA was trying to say, is City breach financial fair play. They went way over, and they were fined back in 2014. And then they dug back into the whole issue using the documents that were illegally retrieved to use against City. And then the fine came because of failure to cooperate, because City maintained their innocence. So basically, what UEFA is trying to do is...
That's two different things. Pleading not guilty and not cooperating with an investigation are two very different things.
No, but what I'm saying, though, you also could be not guilty and not cooperate.
Why would you guys not cooperate? Why did you
not?
have to do that?
Because I don't want to deal with you.
Well, you didn't want to deal with the financial fair play rules either, and that's what got you in this situation.
I'm not guilty, so get away from me. I'm not guilty. I don't want to deal with this. You see, basically, you see what I mean? I don't want to deal with you. I'm not guilty. You cannot prove that I did that. Bye.
That's just so arrogant. Just like let them investigate if you didn't do anything wrong.
But if you're confident that you could win something, you're arrogant about it. And that's how. Look,
you don't have to be.
What happened? And I think UEFA themselves are arrogant. They themselves are arrogant, and you want to know why they're arrogant and why this thing just blew up in their face? Because they waited until Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, you know. You see the significance? The 14th of February, when everybody's having a nice time with their loved ones, bam, 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 and they chose that exact day. They could have waited the day after or do it the day before or do it a week later. They waited that exact day to say, hey, you guys are banned for 2 years. And what City said? Ha, 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 ha. You know what? You know what? Listen. We have the money, we'll hire the best lawyers, and they're going to beat this because you're full of shit. That's what they said. And nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. You know who have a problem with that? You know who have a problem with that? People who cannot do the same, or people who are like basically, they don't have any money and they hate on people who have money. Or I'm not saying that people who, like, for example, even born with money or whatnot, are riches to their family. Some people grind their way to a certain position. I'm not saying City did, but certain people grind their way to a certain position, and then the people that did not grind, oh, look at him, with kind of jealousy, kind of, outlook at what other people are achieving, and say, you didn't work hard. Listen, City could spend all they want. They could spend all they want. If they don't spend on the right players, if the players don't go on the field and perform, they will win nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Dominic, I love this passion, man.
Because look,
I
know I'm not trying to defend any shady things that City may or may not have done. That's not my place. That's not my place. But I know I'm a real City fan. It doesn't matter when I became a City fan or whatnot. I'm real.
What I mean. That's one thing I do want to clarify for anyone watching this video. I don't question anyone's fans' loyalty. The overgeneralization of plastic fans, like, that just comes from all the stereotypes. You can't fill your stadium. Oil money takes over. Everyone starts to like the popular team. It's a whole bandwagon thing. Dominic, I agree. Yeah. I know you're a real fan. I know. The thing too about the whole stadium thing and the whole Manchester thing is, like, City was always Man City's, the club that Man United, were better than. It was like that stepbrother, you know what I'm saying? Or always gets the shorter end of the stick. You see what I mean? Goliath kind of thing. Like Man United, that prestigious club, that all the big players went to in the, throughout the history of the Premier League. And in the Premier League, throughout the history of English football, and especially the Premier League era under the tutelage of Sir Alex Ferguson. Iconic. He has made the team an iconic team. And you see Man United, like, you remember that. You see Alex Ferguson. But Absolutely. since he left, things, the tide have shifted. The paradigm, you have seen a paradigm shift there. And that's what people do not like. People don't like that. So they will come up with all kinds of things
to annoy the City fans, to piss off City fans, to piss
Well, they do
off.
the same thing with Liverpool too. They do the same thing. They have songs saying like "feed the Scousers" and everything because you know the whole history, right? You know the history. Manchester, they were tired. It was the whole canal thing. They were tired of having to basically work with Liverpool in the ship trade. I don't know what exactly they were trading, but they decided to build their own canal. And then from there, Manchester kind of blew up in the trading, so in the trade world. So that's the whole thing. And it's like because of that, ever since that happened, Manchester blew up. They have their own city economy, and they basically just crap on Liverpool fans because Liverpool is like a working class city. And, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing.
So you're
there.
talking about the whole the rivalry, and the rivalry is more between United and Liverpool.
That's what I'm referring to.
The rivalry was never really about City and look, I haven't been really a devout fan of any club for like a very, very long time. I'm not gonna sit here and say and post up a picture, Photoshop a picture myself when I was like 3 years old in a City kit. I ain't gonna do that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do that. But what I'm saying though is, look, before this whole City Liverpool thing, I don't know how tense it was before, but all I know, after City beat Liverpool 5-0 back in 2017, it's like it opened up a whole like can of worms, a big can.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I think it was even before that. I think it was the 2013-14 season. It may have been even 2012, 2013. That was the season when, like, we were battling you guys when we had Suarez and everything. We were battling you guys back and forth with the top spot in the league. And then I'll never forget this. This was one of, like, the first games where I was like, wow. And it was the game where we played you guys at Anfield, and Coutinho and Henderson scored those screamers. And that, honestly, I think that was the point, in my opinion, that developed this big rivalry. So 2014 or 2015?
Look, there's always going to be that rivalry between Premier League clubs. It's like, for us, for example, like Tottenham, they're not like, it's not a derby against Tottenham. But
it's a big game.
But it's a big game, and I think it's even a bigger game after what they knocked us out of the Champions League final.
Yes.
Quarterfinal a couple seasons ago. Was it last season? Not even a couple. Last season. It seems last season. Everything just seems out of whack because of the whole, coronavirus thing. But every time we play Tottenham now, there's gonna be that in our back of our heads. And this season we didn't do well against them. Maybe that was playing on our minds. But I'm saying, from what I know personally, for you it might be a different date. But for me, it's that 5-0, because after that Liverpool came back with a vengeance. And every time City play Liverpool, it's a massive game. It's big, and it probably is bigger than City. Not City. Maybe City is bigger than City United now, and it's bigger than United Liverpool. That City Liverpool match is a bigger game than when you guys play Man United.
See, it's a good argument. I could see why you would say it. Man City and Liverpool is a big rivalry, but it's still not bigger.
Look, I know what you're trying to say. In terms of passion. In terms of passion, yeah. Because if City and Liverpool play, we could always, we still be cool. But there's actually hate between, I know some Liverpool fans might hate City too, but United, Liverpool, it's a reciprocal thing.
Oh, yeah, that's just hate. It's just hate.
Ain't no unrequited kind of stuff going on there. It's all reciprocal.
Right.
Where I don't like you, you don't like me. So what City did now, City basically is a team that came in and disrupt the whole, just the way things go. And a lot of teams don't like that. We're like that unruly child that just abruptly just come into a room and just steal all the light and suck the energy out. Give me that.
Yeah.
So people don't like that. Look, how many teams can use their academy successfully to go on and win a title or win things without losing those players the next season. Tell me a team. Tell me a team.
I'd argue Chelsea almost did it this season. They had a lot of their academy players in there, and they went to a few finals.
And
right?
why that came about? Why did that came about?
Liverpool did. Gerrard came through the academy. Liverpool just did it with Trent Alexander-Arnold. We have Curtis Jones in the squad.
Look.
You asked the question.
No, but my thing is, you did not do it solely with players like that.
If you want to talk about, going to do that. That's
Ajax. Look at Ajax, what they did last season.
But the thing is, Ajax doesn't do it either. Like, they have 80% of their team.
No, but hear me out. Hear me out with Ajax. Let's talk about Ajax a bit before you go on. Let's talk about Ajax a bit before we go on, please. And let me tell you why I'm going to use Ajax as an example. De Ligt, De Jong came through the academy, right? Those are two of the most prominent players. All the other players, were they like brought from bigger clubs, brought into Ajax? Maybe everybody didn't come through the academy, but they weren't players that...
That's the point you were saying. That's Ajax, what I'm saying.
But yeah, I know what you say, but Ajax got to the Champions League semifinals with Dusan Tadic, man.
Bro, they've won 4 of them before. Like, it's nothing new to Ajax.
I'm not talking about that. But when Ajax won the Champions League back in the 90s, what happened to their team after that?
Same thing that's always happened to Ajax.
Exactly. And that's the point I'm trying to make.
No, that's not your point. You said that is not the point you were trying to make. You said that
the point I'm trying to make.
Academy players.
That's
what you said.
The point I'm trying to make is you cannot build no dynasty from your academy. Hence the reason why.
That is not at all what you were saying.
No, that is the point I'm trying to make now. That is the point I'm trying to make now. I'm trying to defend City's bringing in of a Laporte and Stones and Otamendi, bringing in a Rodri, a Fernandinho, everybody,
and I think basically. My point is, I'm going to use your point that you just said. If Ajax can do it and win multiple Champions Leagues by having 80% of the squad that does it, graduates of their academy, that should be no excuse, and you guys should be able to do it too.
Anomalies.
I just destroyed your argument.
Anomalies and great managers. Anomalies. Porto, 17 years ago or so, anomaly. Never happened again.
Porto consistently win the league, though.
I'm not talking about the league. I'm talking about the Champions League. Never happened again. The Champions League ain't no easy thing to win. You guys won it. You got to the finals twice. That's why I say it's not easy. Look, you guys got to the final twice. You won it this year, and it proved because you have a good team. A team that took you years to build. How many years it took you to build that team?
It was 4. And
Klopp came in. Look, Klopp came in before Pep. He came in before Pep. He did his thing. He spent as well. He spent. I know you guys might say, okay, he spent, but we sold a lot of players too. Okay, I know that. But still, how does the players get paid? They don't get paid from that kind of money. They don't get paid. You get paid. There's sponsorship. There's television deals. There's all of that. So you see where I'm coming back at now? There's other monies involved other than player sales. That you guys like to throw player sales at it. Oh, player sale that. UEFA brought in this financial fair play thing, and note the words financial fair play, because what City does is not fair. It's not fair. It's to make things fair, right? You're trying to say what we do is not fair. So hear me now. What we do, Bournemouth can't do that. Burnley can't do that.
What blows my mind is that you're right. It's not fair that you guys are able to spend that. Yet you and other teams that have a super unfair advantage are the ones being brought up on these charges. And that makes no sense.
But what I'm saying,
you have the money, why do you need to cheat?
But hear me, we are not cheating. It's not cheating. It is not cheating. You see what I mean?
Earlier in the show, I said falsifying revenue or sponsorship
falsifying
revenue.
documents.
That
overstated.
is
It's not falsifying. It's basically overstating.
which
Because
is
they're
not
trying
the
to
accurate value, which is
they're trying to say that we don't really get 200 and something million from Etihad, and it's that it is the owner himself, that puts the money into the club. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So they're basically saying, oh, that money ain't yours. The club did not generate the revenue for that money. The owner took the money out of his pocket and did that. You want to talk about do we want to talk about Chelsea?
No, who's stopping? And that's the whole thing. That's the two clubs that have multi-billion-dollar owners. Okay, who's to say that they're not doing that?
But
and then
what
just
I'm
print
saying,
out a document.
What I'm saying, but who's to say that FSG ain't doing that either?
They
That's
don't
the
have
thing.
the money to. They don't have the money to just put into the team.
But what I'm saying, they may not have the amount of money, but what if the money that they put in, that's what they're doing? I'm just saying. Listen, people like to come out and try to basically make all these companies and all these billionaire owners look like saints. You think they're saints? No, they're not. And I keep saying, not even Southampton are saints.
Southampton actually made $2 million from.
But what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying? Hear me out. Listen, let this digest. Not even Southampton are saints.
I'm aware that their mascot's the Saint.
Exactly.
I mean, that didn't go over my head.
Oh, I thought it went over your head.
No.
But it might go over some people's heads. But what I'm trying to basically say, Kyle, this financial fair play thing was put in to stop teams like City. It's sort of a double entendre kind of rule, because it's put in to protect the clubs from overspending and basically going into non-existence, because they can't, they just can't, they just drowning in debt, because debt, they're drowning in death.
I heard that. I was like,
yeah,
right.
But they're drowning in, and that's what the financial fair play rules are said to be put in place for, so that a team like Burnley or Bournemouth don't go out and buy Kylian Mbappe on credit, and then they can't, and then Kylian Mbappe gets injured. They don't sell no Mbappe jerseys. They don't. You get what I'm saying?
I get it. I don't. But you know,
but I know that's what it is.
Mbappe would never go to Bournemouth.
But what I'm saying though,
what
I'm saying, I'm just using Mbappe as an example. Who said he would never go to Bournemouth? Who said so?
Are you kidding me?
No, but I'm saying, who said so?
I know you're just playing.
If the deal is right, hear me out. If the deal is right, the wages are right, and they say, Mbappe, we want to build a project around you. Look, it's up to the player. If the player wants to, if they could afford him, why not? I'm just saying.
I honestly think that would be the funniest transfer ever.
It could happen in, look, you know where it happens?
Could happen in FIFA.
Exactly.
You know it could happen in FIFA.
Exactly. And as it goes back to where I was coming at, these billionaire owners are playing FIFA with the leagues. And let me solidify that.
Yeah.
How the hell did Robinho end up at Man City? Man City? Because of the takeover. Robinho. He was the best thing. The best thing. Maybe not the best thing, but you know,
because of the takeover. So, for example, if someone took over Bournemouth, right? Mm-hmm. Say someone took over Bournemouth, that is a different scenario. That's a different scenario. But the way you were saying it was like them buying them on credit. So obviously Bournemouth.
No, but do you know? A lot of these deals are done on credit.
Yeah, I know, but the deals that are done on credit are by the teams that have the money
and have the
financial backing. You don't have a Bournemouth going and buying.
What's the word I'm looking for?
The credit, the liquidity, the equity.
And but that's the word I'm looking for. What you use to the word ain't coming, to back you up when you go in for credit. What's the word?
Collateral.
Yeah, collateral. It's a C word. These clubs have the collateral. You see what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And Bournemouth have no collateral.
But what? But hear me out. Financial fair play was put in to protect these clubs from doing these silly things.
I disagree. I
No, you can't.
don't
How
think-
you're disagreeing with facts? It's facts.
That's the financial fair play was put in so, like we talked about earlier, so that teams like City don't overspend.
No,
yes.
See, that's why you're getting it wrong.
That's why they do it percentage-wise.
That's why I said
other clubs, these other clubs can do the same thing City do.
Kyle,
listen.
That's why I said it's a double entendre type of rule because it has two meanings. Because it's there to stop teams like City and Chelsea and Trabzonspor and, Anzi Makakala, whatever that club called in Russia that used to spend the money. These teams that have rich, like AC Milan, who was banned from from Europe last season, I think.
They're having big financial issues, I feel like.
And it was put in so that these billionaire owners don't come in and basically use their financial power to boss the league.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and look, you could have the financial takeover, but as long as you stay within these means. You see what I mean? So what they're saying is that City have not been staying within these means. You could spend all you want, You could spend all you want. But if for example, let's say City makes $1 billion they just make £1 billion. They make £1 billion. Let's say they sell De Bruyne, Sterling, and Bernardo, and those player sales end up to $500 million, right? Let's just say that, because these players are going to be expensive if they're sold, right? And put in sponsorship and TV deal and bam, bam, bam. City now has $600-700 million to spend. That would be within financial fair play rules because they made the money to now spend. You see what I mean?
Point. Yeah. I know what financial fair play is.
That would be unfair too. That would still look unfair. Because then they could go in and they could buy both Neymar and Mbappe, and they could bring in Cristiano Ronaldo on a free, pay his wages, and have a super team and spank everybody. That's not gonna happen. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But this game is a game for the rich. This game is not a game for no cinder. What Leicester did a couple years ago was an anomaly.
Remarkable.
But still,
remarkable though.
But Leicester still had a billionaire owner.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? How you think Wolves came seventh last season and this season? You think it's just because oh man, Nuno is so good?
Yo, I'm telling you, that manager is something serious.
Yeah, but because he's so good? How the hell you get Rui Patricio in the championship?
Oh, he came over in the championship.
I think so.
I thought they bought him right when he came to the Premier League.
I think it's since the champ because I could double check right now, but I could
because I know they got Ruben Neves when they came to the Premier League. Oh, maybe not.
Ruben Neves was there since the championship, I think.
But Matinho and all them, right? They brought those guys in.
I'm not 100%. We could look into that,
Here, look into Rui. That's really the only one I care about.
So he came in. Rui Patricio may have came into the he came in 2018.
Yeah,
but
I knew there's no way he was in the championship.
But I don't know if it was in January or not. I could double check that because I know we're going off tangent to talk about Wolves and stuff like that. But it's backing up my point that people need to write off a City, man. Everybody is spending. Everybody's spending money. Everybody's spending money.
I think you made some great points, right?
And Liverpool spend a lot of money too.
There's no lying. All the top 6 teams spend a lot of money. There's no question.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a difference that we talked about way at the beginning of business models. Every team spends a lot of money, but one team is going to spend a lot of money and recoup it from sponsorships. One team is going to spend a lot of money and then recoup it from player sales. Exactly. One team, everyone recoups it a different way. And I guess the whole problem that me as a fan that I have with Man City is the amount of spending and the amount of just pure because really the only things we see, you may touch on it. The only thing us fans see are the transfers. So we see it as okay, Man City are buying De Bruyne, Silva, you know what I mean? So we only see the players that are coming in and going out. Whereas the media doesn't necessarily focus on what they're bringing in from Etihad, what they're bringing in from ticket sales. You can search it, of course.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think you brought up some great points, man.
But the thing I was saying about Wolves, I may have, they did brought in a lot of players when they came into the Premier League. Like they brought in Patricio, Adama.
Because you got to think about that promotion money.
Yeah, they actually bought Diego Jota, but when you look
Raul
back
Jimenez
at it,
was a loan that they made permanent. I mean, I know a
yeah, but Diego Jota, I think they had Diego Jota first and they sent him out on loan.
Yeah,
but they had guys like Neves there coming through and guys like Cody and these guys. But when they came into the Premier League was when they brought in Jimenez. They bettered their team when they came into the Premier League. João Moutinho, they brought in Willy Bolly, Diego Jota back to the club, Rui Patricio, Adama, Johnny Otto. They spent money. Money. Wolves spent 112 million when they came into the Premier League.
I got a soft spot for Wolves. I'm going to be honest with you.
And then, you know how much they spent again this season? 121. So Wolves has spent 220 or so million pounds, euros.
But you also got to take into account, they made the Europa League. They're advancing through the Europa League.
But
you know what I mean?
That's the point I'm trying to make to people. City are in the Champions League every year. They get pretty deep.
The value. All right, let's just call it 200 million over the last 2 years compared to 800 million. I mean, that's a big difference.
There's no denying that City spent a lot of money. There's no denying that. But all I'm trying to say is a lot of clubs do the same thing. People just don't like City. You know what I mean? That's what it all boils down to. People just don't like City and they don't like the way City carry out business and they don't like the way City does things. And it's that simple. You want us to, this is how people want City to do business. This is exactly how people, and you included, this is how you, as a Liverpool fan, want us to do business. Hey, let me get 5 pounds of tomatoes at $20, right? Okay. We got 5 pounds of tomatoes at $20. Take the tomato, make 40, double your money, and then go back to buy more tomatoes again, basically. And then double your money again and then keep making money from that. That's how you want us to do business. You don't want us to do business like, okay, you know what, man? Buy that tomato farm right over there, and we are going to just be in charge of selling all the tomatoes here, and we're going to win things. We're going to be winning. You know what I'm saying? I'm the tomato man now. You guys don't like that, and that's what City came in and did. I know it's kind of a weird analogy, but it's a good analogy because you guys don't like that City came in, started winning things after being a club that was struggling for years. And I know this because I watch the City fan. He has a channel, Esteem Company. And sometimes when you hear him talk, you could understand where he's coming from because he's been a City fan all his life. And he talked about back in the 90s when they got, City got relegated, the days at Main Road, and coming through the years of just struggling and just struggling. It's just a struggle. When you get taken over, you're like, oh my God, like, wow, what are the odds? What are the odds? It could have been a different club, but it just happened to be City. It just happened to be City. You know what I'm saying? That's why people don't like teams like Leipzig and Hoffenheim because over in Germany, because they have backing behind them. You see what I mean? If the Premier League wants to get rid of this whole thing, just make it like the Bundesliga then. Look, I'm going to say this. Make the Premier League a farmers league then. Make it a farmers league. If you don't like what City are doing, make the league a farmers freaking league. Because everybody's spending now.
The thing is, the TV money for both leagues, first off, but mainly the Premier League, the TV money is what everyone loves. Like, the Premier League is just going to keep blowing up, and there's going to be more money pumped into it, more billionaire owners. Every single team in the Premier League eventually is going to have billionaire owners.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Villa, they got money.
Yeah.
They spent a lot.
Villa's a big club, though.
I know.
You know what
Historically,
I mean?
yeah, definitely. They won the European Cup back in the early 80s.
I mean, shit, Nottingham Forest won
Exactly.
2 of them. Like, you know what I mean?
Wolves got a backing behind them.
Yeah.
A lot of we don't
Crystal
even
Palace, I think, have American owners now.
Listen, we don't even need to go into this. The clubs have money, but it's just a whole thing go back where I don't like you too much if you're spending more than me. It's like keeping up with the Joneses, and City is a Jones that it's very, very difficult to keep up with. And teams don't like that. A lot of teams wanted City to get banned. Banned. Points docked, relegated. You see, tell me, it's real hate. It's real hate out there. Yeah.
Relegated.
There were talks about being relegated. The amount of points taken off, relegated.
Oh, no.
Trophies stripped, retroactively stripped.
Nah, a ban is fine. I was all for the 2-year ban. That's it. I didn't hear any of these relegation.
Guess what? No ban, baby.
Yeah.
No ban. How you feel about that?
I mean, I made a video about it.
You know how you feel about that? Let me tell you how you guys feel about that.
Tell me how I feel.
Let me tell you how you feel about that.
Tell me.
Take a rubber band, right?
Is this a tomato analogy or no? Okay.
Take a rubber band.
Is this a school analogy, a degree analogy?
It's a simple. Take a rubber band, right? Take one end of the rubber band and pull it. Just pull the end. Pull it. Put your face right here and just let it go. That's how you guys feel.
No, that's not it.
Think about it.
No,
think
about
it. Think about how that feels.
That's not it, bro. That's not it.
What, worse? Is it worse?
No, I think it's just salt. That's it.
You think I was a little extreme at that one?
That was a little extreme.
But that would be a messed up feeling. And you might not feel like that, but a lot of people feel like that.
No, I know. I hear you.
And I saw it on their faces when the verdict came in. They were like, what? Huh? I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Yeah, we beat it. You know what I'm saying? Justice. It's a justice system. That's what it's for. That's what it's for, man. I bet you, Kyle, you get into a traffic infraction. Bam. You get a ticket. Aren't you going to try to beat that ticket even if you knew?
Oh, let me tell you a good story, too. I'll do everything in my power to beat the ticket.
Exactly.
But I'll cooperate with the investigation.
Yes. You have to
which
cooperate.
You guys didn't.
But look, you paid a
fine. I'm not guilty, so I'll cooperate. And when I came into court,
you cooperate even if you are guilty. You see what you just said. Even if, you see, look.
Even if I was guilty, I would cooperate. Cooperate. But you guys didn't cooperate.
Look, I always go back to this, Kyle. I always go back to this. And I tell people, you come on here, these forums, or you come on Twitter, you come on YouTube, and you comment on my video, and you talk a lot of BS, or you a saint. Ain't no saints out here.
You say Southampton ain't even saints,
exactly. Bro. But what I'm trying to say is, even you admitted it, and I know, even if I commit an infraction out there, I'm gonna still try to beat it, even on a technicality.
However,
even if I'm guilty,
be arrogant about it and not cooperate.
But there's nothing to cooperate. You know,
what are you talking about? You have to show up to court. What are you talking about? There's nothing to cooperate.
So is that part of cooperating, showing up to court?
Yes. Are you kidding me?
I will cooperate then, of course.
Okay. Your club didn't. That's the only point I'm making.
But we did show up to court, though. The court of arbitration for sport.
Lawyers.
The court for arbitration. The court of arbitration for sport. Whatever it's called.
No, you didn't cooperate. That's what the fine was for.
Listen,
and you know it.
But let me ask you a question.
Go for it.
Have we ticked off everything on your list that we actually wanted to talk about.
Every single thing.
We touched on everything.
Everything.
And these are everything that pissed me off as a City fan when y'all come talking all this nonsense. Because to me, it's just nonsense. It's just plain blah, 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 nonsense.
Hey, and
Gibberish.
that's the beauty of being a fan. You're so blind to all the BS. You know what I mean? Like if Liverpool got in the same situation, I'd be doing the same. I'd be like, I don't want to hear the BS from y'all. Okay. You know what I mean? So that's the beauty of being a fan.
I know as a City fan, we have to take a lot of banter, man. A lot of banter. You know what I'm saying? And it's tough sometimes. You got to keep your cool, man. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard, man. But, you know, time will tell. We don't have any history. If City continue the way they on the path they are on right now, we may be telling you guys you don't have no history because of the legacy that we have created in the new age. 50 years from now, when
I was gonna say that
when I might be dead. Hopefully, I'm still alive. I'll be in my 80s.
Why would you be dead in 50 years?
I'll be in my 80s. I'm not that young. Look, you might still be alive, but I might be in my 80s.
I mean, 80 is like average now.
Listen, 50, I might not even want to live. I might not even want to live 50 years from now. You know what I mean? The way things are going right now in the world.
Yeah,
but
I hear that.
50 years from now, City could actually be the team with a better legacy to look back on. Liverpool, they could talk their 19 titles. Let's see how many you add to that. City, we have our 6. We have our 6, okay? But what if in the next 30 years, again, 30 actually came out automatic. I didn't even think about 30 because you guys didn't win it for 30 years. What if for the next 30 years,
didn't even catch it,
we win 20 titles and you guys win 3? Hey, let's just say that.
No, that's the beauty of the sport.
Who would have the better history now?
Liverpool still.
No, it would be City.
No, you wouldn't.
It would be. It would be. History is history. Look,
exactly.
You're not gonna,
history is history.
Right now, remember back.
You don't have any history. You don't even have a leg to stand on in this argument until you win the Champions League.
But so I understand what you're saying. You have an argument here.
You have no legs in Europe whatsoever.
But we're still in it. We're still in it. And this Friday, we're going to talk.
All right.
We're going to get past Real Madrid, and then we're going to talk. If we don't get past Real Madrid, that would be that same rubber band in my face, because
is that how y'all feel?
Yo, I would feel this. That would sting. That would sting if we beat Real Madrid 2-1 at home, on the road. I mean, and they come to the Etihad and beat us 2-0 and go through. That would sting. That would hurt. Then I have no argument. I can't even sit down here and stand up to you right now in an argument. Hey, you hear that? You hear the wordplay?
That's the thing.
Sit down here and stand up to you in an argument.
I didn't even catch that.
My wordplay.
What's crazy is like you can. The cool thing about being a fan is that you can argue with anyone until your team loses. So, like for example, I was arguing with everyone about Liverpool like dominating the Champions League, and then look, we got kicked out of the tournament by Atletico.
Exactly.
Now, I mean, I'm not talking smack about this current Champions League. I'm just saying we have 6 and you don't have any. You know what I mean?
I like to revert to being current. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, your current value is 0.
Currency. You know what I'm saying?
Which
currency,
you have a lot of.
Where we have exactly. You see the wordplay? Oh my! Yo,
you listen to Currency?
I have a few records. Okay. Look, Jet Life. Jet Life to the next life. Look here. We are in the Champions League. You are not. The last time we played you, we spanked you 4-0. You came up with a whole lot of excuses about how you were drunk and you were celebrating. When
they were hammered, bro.
Salah was hammered.
They were all hammered.
Salah drinks, right? He drinks hard, right?
I have no idea. He drinks a lot of coffee.
I heard people say that Mane don't drink, Salah don't drink, and maybe a few other players don't. Naby Keita don't drink. Look, you guys are coming up with a whole lot of excuses, man. Listen.
Hey, we can do that when we're champions of England.
Listen, next season, and that's the other thing. You fail to remember that we were champions of England 4 times in the Premier League era before you became champions 1 time.
We had 18 not
It doesn't matter.
League titles.
But we're
18.
talking, but can we get league era relevant here? Era relevant, or era, however you want to pronounce it. Era. Could we get relevant in terms of the era?
All right, fair enough.
And that's why people keep mentioning. That's why it meant so much to Liverpool, because none came in the Premier League era. And Liverpool has done a lot of things that City has done in order to get to where they're at. And that's in terms of bringing in quality players. You guys were not bringing in enough quality players. You had Torres, you had Coutinho, you had Suarez, but those players weren't enough to put you over that tipping point where you could win the Premier League. You see what I mean? When you have Mane, a proven goal scorer from Southampton.
The thing is, though, we were challenging for the title for multiple seasons.
Yes,
that's
you
the
did.
argument.
No doubt about that. No doubt. You had world class in Gerrard in your team. You know what I mean? You had guys like Carrick and Carragher in your team. You know, you had quality players for some years. No doubt about that. Definitely no doubt about that. But you had to borrow some of what City had in order to win. James Milner.
What the hell are you talking about?
James Milner.
Get out of here. We didn't borrow him. We got him for free, actually.
Milner give you guys the recipe to win the league.
From you.
Milner said, hey, man, I got the recipe. I was holding out, but you know what, man? Screw City. Here you go.
I guarantee you James Milner hasn't even thought about Man City since he left. He's a legend, though, isn't he, bro? Listen, I love James Milner.
That was only my thing. That's a empty theory right there. That's just my thing. You know,
I love Milner.
That's just me joking around. You know what I mean? But look here, Kyle. Both teams are very great teams. You can't even use the word good. Both teams have heavily invested in their stock right now. No doubt about that. City, some people or most people have accused us of using shady tactics, you know. Look, everybody uses a little shady tactics, you know what I mean? You know, your taxes is 10 mil, you want to get it to like 6 mil, you do something a little questionable. The morality of the thing is a little questionable to get it down. People do that.
Tax law is complicated. Yeah. We all know that.
Exactly. You know, so look, man, look. We're going to continue to talk shit about each other's clubs. We are,
of course,
whether you know, because it's what keeps the rivalry alive. And City, I have to say, they dodged a bullet. We dodged a major bullet by not. If we had got banned, I know it's still kind of tainted a bit, because if you were accused of killing somebody and you got arrested, but then you got off, people still looking at you as the killer.
Yo, Dominic, you go from tomato man to murderer.
because I'm nice like that, you know.
Funny. It's you're nice
entertainment
like
that, you know what I mean? But if you accuse somebody of killing, right? You're gonna look at that when you see, oh man, that's the guy who killed that person. You know what I mean? Even if they were exonerated or found out exactly. Right. So therefore, City, they got themselves in some, you know, hot water there, and it's gonna taint us for a long time.
Oh, it is. But no one will forget.
What we need to do is to just do things right in the eyes of the masses going forward. That would be nice. And I think City have been doing that for a while. Yep. To be honest, since Pep came in, I think City, because these accusations go back before Pep came in. They go back before Pep came in. And we don't spend a crazy amount every season, you know. If you really check out what's going on, it's not a crazy. No, how much did we spend last season? Like last summer?
You spend, on average,
No, last summer.
100 million.
That's not a lot, bro.
A season.
For a team like City, that's not a lot. If you check Barcelona and Real Madrid, how much do they spend every season?
We talked about this last time. It doesn't matter how much they spend because they're bad. Barcelona are in shambles right now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And that's why they are in shambles right now, because of the business, approach that they have taken, trying to keep up with the likes of Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, right? You put yourself trying to get the best player. You have to pay premium for the best player. It takes a while to go in and get.
I think this is all I'm going to say about that. This is where my mindset differs. You don't have to pay a premium to get the best players. You can buy a player right at the brink of his peak or his prime and develop him.
It's a gamble.
It's not a gamble when you
don't know if he's going to develop. You do not know if he's going to develop, because you think about it, right?
Risk reward.
You think about it. For example, if City had a player like Lanzini, Felipe Anderson from West Ham, these West Ham players, they have some very good players over there, but maybe they don't have the right managers to unlock the capabilities of these players.
It's all the manager over there. That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So therefore, when Pep going for a player, they require a premium amount because it's City. If you want a player, that means you see something in this player, You see something in this player. This is how much he costs. If City really wants this player, then they have to splash. We wanted Harry Maguire. We didn't. United got him. They overpaid for him because we weren't willing to front up that kind of money. The same thing happened for Fred. The same thing happened with Alexis Sanchez. United keep going in and swooping these players, from under their feet from us. You understand what I'm saying? And no one is looking at what they're doing. You see what I mean? They're overpaying for these players that we were going in for. You see what I mean?
Yeah, they're scooping them out. I hear you.
I hear you. In the case of Van Dijk wanted to go to Liverpool, but what if City had offered Southampton 30 million more than what Liverpool were offering? Maybe Van Dijk would have been a City player today. But
that's the thing, though. The player has to want to go.
I know that, but money does persuade a player, though.
Right.
Money does. Because if the contract was better than the Liverpool contract, Van Dijk would be like, my heart is set on Liverpool, But look, an extra 100K a week?
Nah, that's the exception, not the rule.
No, but I'm just saying that happens a lot.
Yeah,
happens a lot.
Sure it does.
But yo, man, it's been real.
Yo, this is good.
It's been real.
This is some good stuff.
It's been real, and I know we kind of went a little bit, off hinge a bit.
Hey, what else is new, man? We always do.
And a little bit off the whole. But I think we still kept within the whole theme of the video to basically talk about. It's a duality too, because it's things that City does to piss off Liverpool fans and things that Liverpool fans basically say and come up with to piss off City fans and taunt us about how we attain our success.
Right, and like you said a couple minutes ago, man, that's what fuels the rivalry. It's good. So it keeps real, rivalry healthy.
It's been real. So I think that's a wrap. That's a tamale right there.
That's a tomato.
Yeah, not a tamale. Tamale, a wrap.
I heard what you said, bro.
So yeah, man. Talking about a wrap, I've been trying to buy a wrap from this place for some time, and they just saying they have no wraps. I don't know if there's a shortage of wraps in the it's like a health food store. I don't know what it is.
Shortage of wraps,
but,
huh?
Yeah, but I wanted a jerk chicken wrap. I just can't get my freaking jerk chicken wrap. Maybe I need to try.
You, bro.
I need to try a different spot. That's what I need to do. You know what I mean?
Call around and say you got wraps.
Well, Kyle, man, it's been real, man. It's been real. I can't wait for next season, because next season is gonna be a special one.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be a special one. I know every year we say this.
It's not too far away, bro. It's not too far.
I know, like a month away. I know every year we say this, but it just gets better and better and better, man. That's why I love the Premier League. Ain't no Farmers League here. Ain't no Farmers League. That's why I love the Premier League. You know, so guys, man, it's been real. If you're new, subscribe to my channel. And there'll be a link in the description box for Carl's channel. And Carl, you know, definitely do the same.
Absolutely.
Subscribe to his channel as
and I'll put a link for Dominic's channel in my description as well.
Definitely. I could actually let Carl say that, but it'll be kind of weird, like a little weird moment of silence where he has to like figure out that I want him to say hit the subscribe button and stuff like that. So that's the reason. That's the reason why I said it for you. You know what I mean?
Hey, I was just letting you roll, man.
Just wanted to transition nicely and smooth, you know, smoothly and everything.
No, that was a good transition.
Man. So guys, thanks for watching the video. I'm your boy Dominic Rich. And until next time, peace out. Rich, school hunter. And now I want you to give your farewell.
Until next time, guys, take care. That's all I got, bro. I don't have any other special ones.
Maybe you need to come up with a special one like me.
Yeah, we're squaw.
Like nothing but redheads.
That's trash.